Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this reaches you. Of course, this is this week on YouTube, and yeah, it's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since I did anything here, and I'm sorry. And I had a video done early, and I needed to edit it out. I had some problems, so I just said, well, it was actually too long, and then I had some stuff on that I really didn't need to put on there. But before I get into the good news Saints and the bad news, good news LSU, bad news Saints. Yeah, like, dummy. First off, I know Koike's taking care of some stuff, and we're not really having a whole lot of time together right now, but that's going to change in about a week, hopefully by the end of the weekend. He'll be back home. He's just got something he's got to take care of, and it has to do with his friends and stuff too, so it's good. It's good. It's something he's in the middle of doing something, and it's going to be, he'll be back with me. But kind of like a vacation. Not a break, because we're still talking to each other, just not as much as we normally do, but that's good. He's, of course he's around, and I love him so much. And two things before I get into the sports stuff. First off, when you're running against 7 different people in a primary and you win with 62, 63% of the vote, that's a guy who should run for governor. You can run against independents, Democrats, and other Republicans and win by that much. That's a landslide, believe it or not. But yeah, John Kennedy, you did that in a senatorial primary. So obviously, if I were you, I'd seriously consider running for governor, because obviously you have electability. You have it. You actually do. If you could beat that many people in a primary, in a statewide run, yeah, you should run for governor. You should run for governor, without a doubt. The other one thing I want to talk about, St. Tammany Parish, their sheriff's office in the race coming up next year. A good friend, John Gerber, is running for it, and I think people should give him serious consideration, especially since most of the people I've talked to in St. Tammany admit one thing. Their current sheriff, Randy Smith, has, and I'll just put in air quotes, problems. So, yeah. So I would seriously consider John Gerber if you want to. G-U-R-B-A is how you spell his last name, Gerber. Been knowing the family for a number of years. Younger brother Chris is in law enforcement. He's been in the military and in law enforcement. John's been in command positions in the Navy, and he's had a lot of law enforcement experience as well. So give him a look. And of course, like I said, it's a year away, but we're good there. Just want to let everybody kind of let him know now that, yeah, he's running. And you do have an alternative, okay? And yeah, and then of course, Ron Gerber Sr., their father, he had many years in the Navy, and then when he retired, he's had many years with the JPSO as well, and then he's retired from that as well. So yeah, that's definitely both military and law enforcement experience, not only John, but his family. So give John some consideration. And I'm going to tell you, vote for him. Vote for him next year. But move on from that. Do I want to go bad news first and good news? Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Hearing things, people talking about paper bags and all that, it's something I've never done. Even in 1980, I went to every game. The 1-15 season. The one game they win in a freaking snowstorm in Shea Stadium against the Jets. Wow, that was their one win. But yeah, and they won that game because Russell Erxleben outkicked the kick returner for the Jets and basically put it over his head, and the Saints were able to down it deep in Jets territory, and then just held on and won. But yeah, Russell Erxleben, probably his best kick of his whole career. It was probably that one kick. So his rookie year too. But and that was a punt. So yeah. All right. So yeah. Go past that. But yeah, I'm hearing about the paper bags. My opinion is this. I think we've seen enough of Dennis Allen. The 8-28, his overall record with the Raiders should have been enough to say, maybe not him as a head coach. But nope. Which makes me wonder if maybe Loomis ought to be moved into a higher position away from the football operations. Let Kai Harley or let a new voice take over that spot as a general manager. Or do you hire Sean Payton back and say he could be both? He got total control of the team. I wonder if that's the way you go. But I don't know. Sean Payton left for a reason, and we just got to hope he gets another job. But brings up the question, too. So if Sean Payton gets another job, we do get a first-round draft pick. We're able to get one of the many quarterbacks that are coming out this year. Do you really want Dennis Allen and his staff to coach that guy for his rookie year? I don't. I don't. I don't. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. But I don't. But the team needs wholesale changes. And either Loomis keeps the GM job or not, it's one thing Gail Benson is paying for the hours she needs to do. She fired Stan VanGundy after 1 year with the Pelicans, and that turned out to be a great move. Willie Green is definitely the move there, and it was a good thing they made that move. Now they just got to start winning consistently. But that's coming. That's coming. It's coming. They look good. They just need to keep everybody on the floor. That's what they need. But getting back to the Saints, yeah. I think Dennis Allen needs to be what I call VanGundied at the end of this year. He needs that VanGundy treatment. Because 1 year's enough. We've seen enough. I mean, what else do you need to see? I mean, obviously the guy's not a coach. Peyton takes another job. He'll probably take Carmichael with him. So he'll probably gone. But either way, I think Carmichael's gone. I think he needs to go. I just think, maybe it's time. New direction, new voices. Because obviously this current team is not listening to them any longer. They just don't have their ear. And good friend Mike Vazan was at the Baltimore game, and he said that Dennis Allen didn't interact with his players, didn't talk to anybody during the game. He's on the sideline doing this the whole game. He just stands there with the headset on and da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. I think what they're missing is a actual direct voice. I think, we need the guy who in the Super Bowl hollers, "You got the wrong effing cleats on," and "Where's my effing juicy fruit?" And when a player did something wrong, they knew Sean Payton was going to get him when it got to the sideline, all the way to what sat down on the bench, and he's still in their face, telling them what they did wrong. That's what they're missing. That's what they're missing. They're missing somebody that's going to be in their face. It's obviously, it sinks in when somebody's in your face. But I don't know. Yeah, I think end of the season you got to VanGundy him. You got to do it. You've done it before. You've done it with the Pelicans, and it worked out. You need to find an NFL equivalent to Willie Green. Somebody's going to be a new voice. Somebody's going to be a young, new leader. Somebody can actually interact with the players better, because Dennis Allen's not that guy. He wasn't that guy with the Raiders. He's not that guy now. So, and it's obvious. It's obvious. But then again, you go from bad to the good. Before I get into the total good, Tulane's having a good season. I mean, they're 8-2, 2 games to go. I mean, they still got a chance. Even though they did lose the UAF. The UAF. Listen to me. They lost to Central Florida, UCF. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, they lost to UCF. Came back in that game, but they let UCF get too far ahead and at the beginning, and then settled in. But anyway, you win the last 2 games. You beat SMU Thursday night, and you beat Cincinnati the next week. You're going to play in the AAC title game. But you'll be seeing Obviously, UCF again, if you get to that. So you remember they take their top 2 seeds and they play a championship game. So yeah, they still got a chance to do that again. So they still got they still got a chance. Play them again, they can still win the AC title. So go Green Wave. That's all I can say about that. But the really good news, I don't have the sound, so I'll do it myself. Dun, 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 dun. Obviously, we're talking about the LSU Tigers. The media and the coaches both picked LSU to finish 5th in the West. Oh, that's right. There were going to be 2 teams behind them. But picked them to finish 5th. Well, and a lot of us, and I'm going to tell you right now, when Brian Kelly first took the job, a lot of us really thought that it was going to take 2, possibly 3 seasons, get a couple of recruiting classes under his belt, and then they could make some moves. Who'd ever thought they're going to win the SEC West title this year? Year one. I don't know anybody who's going to come out and just predict that happen. But yeah, no. Year one, no. Nobody saw that. But you know what? It's here, staring in front of the face. And you know what basically is happening now? Brian Kelly can say, okay, there's a new sheriff in the SEC West. Yeah, he's the new sheriff. And so I think we're looking at the beginning and the end of Nick Saban coaching. I really do. Yeah, I don't know how many more of these type seasons he could deal with. So, but yeah, I don't know. He looks like it's starting to get away from him. It looks like that he's starting to realize, okay, he's at the age now. Maybe he should just step back and just be with his family for the rest of his life. And who knows if it's going to be after this year, if it's after next year, but it's coming. It's coming. I mean, it is. And Brian Kelly will be able to beat him in year one. That's, obviously that was a ballsy call. I was with John Gerb. I was actually at his house watching the game, the LSU Alabama game with him. And I told him, I said, when the coin was for him and another one of his friends, a guy I just met, a new friend of mine now. But anyway, as soon as the coin was flipped and LSU, the players said, okay, we're going defense first. I told them, I said, if Alabama scores and kicks the extra point, Brian Kelly's going to score. If they score, he's going for 2. He's not going no second, third, fourth overtimes. He doesn't, right. That wouldn't favor LSU if they had to get into a scoring duel with Alabama. That would have worked better for Alabama, and he knew it. He was like, but you knew it. Get the extra point, you're the hero. You don't get, a 2-point conversion. If you don't get a 2-point conversion, you're the GOAT. He took a chance. He said, no, I don't. He said, I don't want Bryce Young touching the football again. But I told him right then, right on the coin flip, I said, that happens, he's going for 2. And sure enough, he went for 2. So, and got it, and we all know what that means. So, but Alabama actually did LSU a favor, knocked off Ole Miss. And that coupled with the LSU, not so clean win against Arkansas, but it was a win. Arkansas was ready for it more than LSU, but the talent took over at the end, and LSU was able to win the game. So that's good. But SEC West champions in first year. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you beat UAB, if you beat UAB and you beat Texas A&M, the SEC championship game is basically lagniappe at this point. Nobody's expecting them to make the CFP. Everybody's probably expecting Georgia to win that game, but you play the games, 5th in the West, you win it. So, yeah, you play the games. Right. And the media and the coaches don't, at the beginning of the season, don't figure out the outcomes of every game. You play them. That's why you play the games. And SEC West champs, Brian Kelly. I knew when they hired him, the second they announced they hired him, I said, they got the right guy. Ogeron lost his way after the national championship. He let it get to his head, and his started doing crazy things in his personal life, and it started affecting his coaching. And that's what happened. And there was an ESPN article about that too, and I totally agree with the article. I read it. And it's the truth. It is. He lost his way. He lost his way, and it affected the team. But they got the right guy. He built the right staff. SEC West champions first year. Wow. I mean, that's big. That's big. Year one. So I'm going to get going. Got everything done here that I needed to talk about. And, well, I'm going to try to do this every week. I really am going to try. I'm really going to try. But I like this version better than the last one, so that was good. It worked out better. And as always, say, God willing, I'll talk to you again in a little while. Bye now.